So, good morning, students. Once again, we begin that same chapter. It's been going on for quite a long time. I will try to finish this chapter today, but probably by the next video, this chapter will be ended. So, I will give you a very short recap. According to Carter, he had no choice other than to cut the mummy. He believed that if he hadn't done that, thieves would have moved the gold from the tomb and would have looted it. So Carter had no other choice but to do it, because you know that thieves are there, local people are there. They will just ransack that entire place and take away that entire gold. And it's not uh, only for the value for money, but rather it's a priceless thing. It's an evidence of history. It carries a lot of stories with it, a lot of traditions with it, and it will help to reveal that entire history some 2500 years ago or 3000 years ago about the Egyptian pharaohs and their rulers. So Cutter had no other choice, but he cut out that mummy. He took those gold amulets and things and bracelets and ornaments, and all of them are taken to the history museum, okay, along with the mummified body of King Tutankhamun. Now this incident happened in 1922 1923. Okay, so in those times history was, or archaeology was, or science was not that advanced that you can just, without touching anything, you can scan everything, what is inside, what is outside. Okay, as for example, in today's world, they would even prefer not to cut that mummy out, rather they will scan that mummy from outside. Okay, we have those kind of X-ray instruments, CT scan instruments, 3D imaging technology. Okay, so now archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades. Intervening decades means, I will take up this pencil. Intervening decades means the decades which are in between, that is from 1922 to 2005 to 2006. Okay, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries of death. So now in 1922, the people who called themselves archaeologists were not actually some archaeologically trained persons. There were no university within the world which taught archaeology. Okay, they just did it simply because to discover a lot of treasures. Okay, for example, there were explorers in the African continent. Most of the Europeans, what they did is, if they had a substantial amount of money, they went on exploring the world, and if he happens to find out something like this which is entirely filled up in gold, so he is going to become rich for continuously 5 to 6 generations. Okay, so the focus of archaeology in 1922 was to look for treasures, hidden treasures. Okay, this was a huge intriguing thing, a curious thing, that maybe someone will find a crate or a box of golden coins. Okay, maybe someone will find a box of silver coins. Okay, so this was the motive of exploring history in 1922. But rather, in between these decades, the motive of history changed. Okay, how? Now people do not go after treasures, that I will find a treasure of a crate full of gold. No, not like that. But rather, students, right now you find archaeology as a study subject, okay, in the universities, in the colleges. So right now students or the researchers, they go for researching or finding out historical evidences, stories, intriguing stories, mysteries, revenge, and they want to reveal that story to the world. They are researchers right now. Okay, so the thought of discovering something, the thought of archaeology has changed. It also uses more sophisticated tools, and we are having more sophisticated, technologically far more advanced tools also, including medical technology. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor x-rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact. Beneath the resin that kicks his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. Now this mummy was a thing of discovery, and they were continuously researching on this mummy. Okay, so in 1922, after the discovery of this mummy, in 1968, one of the medical researchers, what he did is, an anatomy professor, he x-rayed that mummy, and he said that there is one of the ribs missing. Okay, and the breastbone is missing, that sternum, it is called sternum. Okay, now we have a few word meanings. Okay, these word meanings are as follows. Intervening means in between. Okay, occurring in between. Intriguing means arouse one's curiosity, being curious. Startling means surprising. Okay, so in past few decades, archaeology has changed, and it now focuses on the details of life and mysteries of death. Earlier it was about focusing on the treasure. Now it uses more advanced medical technologies and tools for research. In 1968, an anatomy professor x-rayed King Tut's mummy and revealed that the front limbs and the breastbone were missing. Now today, again I am going back to the text. Okay, so if you do have a book, you just follow it. Today, diagnostic imaging can be done with computed tomography, or which is called CT scan. So you know the full form of CT scan is computed tomography scan, by which hundreds of x-rays in cross section are put together. So what is done in it is, a lot of x-rays are put in cross section to put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. So it creates a three-dimensional image. What more would a CT scan reveal of truth than the X-ray? And could it answer the two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die, and how old was he at the time of his death? So these are the two intriguing questions right now. The question on the table, okay, that how did he die? So that is the most fascinating question, that probably someone has murdered him to capture the throne, maybe, or maybe he died out of some natural cause like some disease or something. Okay, King Tut's demise was a big event, even by royal standards. He was the last of his family's line, and now this person, King Tutankhamun, or the Pharaoh Tutankhamun, he was the last person surviving in the family's line, and his funeral was the death rattle of a dynasty. But the particulars of his passing away and its aftermath are unclear. But no one knew that why did he passed away, and it was very unclear. Now, what is computed tomography? It's also called CT scan. It is a three-dimensional scan of a body with the help of hundreds of x-rays cross-section together. Okay, demise means death. Here you have demise means death, and then you have the gurgling sound produced in the, so death rattle means during when a person dies. Aftermath is effect of unpleasant effect. Okay, death rattle means when the gurgling sound of a person does while dying. You have seen it in the movies. Okay, when a person is dying, he makes a kind of sound. Okay, so that is how a person dies. So coming to next part from here. Okay, if you are following, Amenhotep the third. Okay, so this is actually read like this: Amenhotep the third. Okay, he was King Tut's father or grandfather, was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for almost 4 decades at the height of the 18th dynasty's golden age. So he ruled, this Amenhotep, this person, this pharaoh, he ruled during the 18th dynasty's golden age. Okay. So, and then his son Amenhotep the fourth, okay, he succeeded him and initiated one of the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt. So he again started the strangest history in ancient Egypt, the new pharaoh. He promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk. The sun disk, here it is given, that is the sun. Okay, changed his name into Akhenaten, or the servant of the sun, Aten, and moved the religious capital from the old city of Thebe. This is not Thebes, this is Thebe, to the new city of Akhenaten, known now as Amarna. Okay, so this place is called Amarna, and he further shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god smashing his images and closing his temples. It must have been a horrific time, said Ray Johnson, the director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, the site of ancient Thebe. The family that had ruled the centuries was coming to an end, and then Akhenaten went a little wacky. So here is given the history of this family. Okay, so before Amenhotep IV, there was the Amenhotep the third. Okay, so he was King Tut's father, and he ruled for almost 44 decades, that is 40 years. Decades means 10 years. Okay, so 4 decades means 40 years at the height of the 18th dynasty. So this was the 18th dynasty's golden age. So he ruled in the golden age. Then came his son, that is Amenhotep the fourth, and succeeded him and initiated one of the strangest periods. So the period of Amenhotep the fourth, okay, that is the son of Amenhotep the third, okay, was different. Why? Because he made a lot of religious changes. Okay, you will get it in the summary. Of course, he made a lot of religious changes. Okay, and it was what it is called is wacky, means slightly odd, slightly crazy. Okay, you know, we had someone called Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so he was famous for making this kind of wacky decisions. He changed the capital from one place to another, making a hell lot of economic problems and financial problems to his own country, to his own people. So this person, Amenhotep the fourth, was a kind of that kind of crazy kind of king. Okay, so next I am just summarizing it. Here you see, this is the summary. Tut's father or grandfather, Amenhotep III, was a very powerful pharaoh who ruled over a period of 40 years. His son Amenhotep IV succeeded him and began the strangest period in the history of Egypt. He promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk. He changed his name to Akhenaten, meaning servant of the Athens. He also shifted the religious capital from Thebe to the new city of Akhenaten or Amarna. Further, he attacked Amun, a god, smashing his images and closed his temple. So he was a little wacky kind of person. He believed a conservative or orthodox kind of religious person. So he broke some of the gods' images that he didn't like and established them that he did like. Okay, so the gods he favored, he established those gods, and he did not favored, he broke them away. Okay, even the temples. So he attacked Amun, a god, and smashed his images and closed his temples. Ray Johnson, director, University of Chicago. So here is an opinion which is important. Okay, mind it. Why I am saying this? Let me show you. Here is a name. Okay, Ray Johnson, and said it must have been bad time for the empire, says family. So if you do have the text, okay, you may kindly mark this name here, Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago. Okay, so next, after Akhenaten's death, a mysterious ruler named Smenkhare appeared briefly and exited with hardly a trace, and then a very young Tutankhaten took the throne. King Tut, as he is widely known today, the boy king, soon changed his name to Tutankhamun. So here in this story you find it that the boy changed his name to Tutankhamun, that is living image of Amun, and oversaw a restoration of old ways. He reigned for about 9 years and then he died unexpectedly. So this boy king, okay, who was pretty young, this boy king, he ruled for 9 years after Smenkhare, this unknown mysterious ruler. Okay, then his first name was Tutankhaten, which was then changed to Tutankhamun. Okay, remember this thing. And he reigned for about 9 years and then he died unexpectedly. So he died with an unknown reason, okay, unexpectedly, suddenly. Regardless of his fame and speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. How many? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy Project, which began an inventory in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far and is still counting. The next phase, scanning the mummies with a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens, is its manufacturer. King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned. So King Tut's mummy was the first mummy to be scanned. This is a good information. In death as in life, moving regularly ahead of his countrymen. So still now there are 600 mummies being discovered. okay, and still counting. Okay, still now even today this inside these huge pyramids of Egypt, okay, in there in Giza and in Cairo, okay, you will find still the scientists are finding out mummies continuously still now. Okay, so it's not that each and every hour they are finding a mummy, not like that. Okay, they explore a place, it takes a considerable a lot of time. Okay, for example 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, and then finally they discover that tomb. Inside it they find a mummy. Okay, so this is how the process works. And today we have CT scan machines. Okay, and this mummy of King Tutankhamun was the first mummy to be CT scanned. Okay, now I am coming to that thing, that what happened. A CT machine, so which scanned King Tutankhamun's body. The CT machine scanned the mummy head to toe, means from top to bottom it scanned it, creating 1700 digital X-ray images in cross section. Okay, Tut's head scanned for 0.62 millimeter slices to register its intricate structures, takes on eerie detail in resulting image. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists in radiology, forensics, anatomy began to probe the secrets that the winged goddesses of gilded burial shrine protected for so long. So, coming to this summary, so this is how the image was taken. The CT scan machine scanned the body by creating 1700 digital X-ray in cross sections. Tooth's head was scanned in 0.62 slices to record the tiny details, and resulting image was very strange. A team of radiology, forensics, anatomy experts started examining the secrets of the grave that had been protected by flying goddesses for a long time. So flying goddesses means there were shrines and there were images and idols of flying goddess. Okay, so they just metaphorically said it. Okay, that these flying images, these flying goddess images which was protecting King Tutankhamun's mummy, was finally revealed that how this person died and what happened to him. So there are a few important words also here. Eerie details means strange image of Tut's head as visible with the help of CT scan. Forensics, the application of the scientific method to investigate a crime. Anatomy, that is a branch of science which deals with the bodily structure of humans and animals or other living beings. I am reading this part. Okay, so if you are following this video you will know it. Bodily structure of human, animals or other living beings. Burial or burying the dead. Shrine means a holy place. So in the next part we will start from here in my next video. Okay, within the next video we will start from this part. I don't know how much this chapter is still left, but I think it will be ended soon. So I am concluding. This probably will be the part 6 of Tutankhamun. Okay, so thank you everyone.